And this is probably the simplest bare minimum use case for something that you can do with this that is also incredibly useful.
Wow, this is really powerful. And I think your microwave analogy just not the other day, a few moments ago, is spot on. Most of us don't know how microwaves work. We do know that when we put food in there, something is happening and particles or atoms, neutrons, whatever. I'm not smart. Things start bouncing into each other over and over again and it creates heat. I think almost everyone knows it does something like that. We don't really care. We put it in, the thing comes out hot, and it's generally safe to do. And I think what you've done by sharing this on the screen here and speaking to it the way you spoke about it for those listening is it's just really smart. It's like how we talked about the OK computer example on Star Trek last time we were speaking about how you can just, in that sense, science fiction, didn't matter if you were talking to the thruster room to make the spaceship move faster, or you wanted to page to somebody down in the infirmary. In these science fiction things, you could just say, okay, computer, and it kind of knew what system to use. It knew what we're referencing, and then it would do the thing. And what you've shown here is just that. Because it's a desktop application that you downloaded. So that's an important distinction for listeners. You download the Claude app for your MacBook or your Windows computer. And then that gives it the ability to do things on your physical computer. And you also have the extension. And the extension can speak to the desktop application so it can handle the things that are going on in your Chrome browser if that's your browser of choice. And it sounds like you don't have to tell it I need you to come up with 5 agents, 1 agent for this, 1 for that. It does smart things like create the sub agents that it needs to create. And it has access to tooling because you give it approvals. One thing that I noticed when I signed up for it, and I'm excited to come back to you in the future and tell you ways I've started to use it, is it really went heavy on like, are you sure you want to approve all this? And I'm a really YOLO kind of guy when it comes to tech. If you're going to make my life easier, take my data, hold my beer, you take the wheel, like I don't care. So like I gave it all these permissions, but this thing must really be powerful because they were really like, are you sure you want us to do this? This is the most powerful thing on the internet right now. And we can really do a lot. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to check it.
Yeah, whatever. Just let it rip. It's like that 40-page legal contract where you have to initial every page.
Yeah.
But that's actually a really good point. Like for anybody who wants to understand how powerful this stuff is, first of all, they're very good about asking for permission to do things. You can configure it so that it can do certain things automatically, but it always asks for permission to do other stuff. A common example there is like, if it ever is going to delete a file, you can be like, please always triple check with me that I do want to delete this file, and it will check. But just the fact that you can configure it with all these permissions and it has the ability to do all these things speaks to how powerful this can be.